today I have with me my good friend Torna Brown, and she is a credit specialist. Actually, she is the founder of Credit Uptick. Hi, Torna. How would you describe what you do, what your goal, your mission is for Credit Uptick?
Well, basically, I would tell individuals that I am a clear-sighted credit specialist, and I help people increase their credit score. I also help them focus and tap into their promise of prosperity. We know that if you struggle with your finances, if you're not good at managing a budget, that can clearly affect your credit.
It affects your life.
It affects your life, absolutely. And so my mission is to help people improve their credit score, help them understand the triggers that will cause their credit score to decrease, and help them really understand the do's and the don'ts as it relates to credit. A lot of people struggle because their credit is stagnant.
Right.
They don't know why. They can't seem to get it to uptick.
Right.
So my role as a clear-sighted credit specialist is to really do an analysis of where they are, map out a plan of where they should be, and put something in place to get them there.
Okay, so you would agree that almost everybody could use some kind of credit guidance, right? Or just structure.
Absolutely. You don't have to have bad credit.
Right.
You can have okay credit and wonder why your credit is stagnant and hasn't moved, over the last 12 to 18 months. My company can help figure out what it is that's keeping your credit score in the mid 600 or just barely over 700. Have you just put some credit strategies in place that will allow you to see an increase in your score?
Look, and life gets better as your credit score gets higher. A lot of things get easier and less expensive. So it's a really good idea to pay attention to your credit. So Torna, what would be two categories that you think that people don't really understand about credit or screw people up in their credit?
I would definitely say collections / charge-off accounts. And then, of course, for a lot of millennials, the dreaded student loans.
Oh, the student loans. I remember those. Yes.
Student loans can wreak havoc on your debt-to-income level. But more importantly, they can just wreak havoc on the credit health of your credit profile.
All right. So what advice do you have for people dealing with student loans?
So the first thing I tell people who have student loans is a lot of people want to defer them.
Right.
They think that is the right route, the right approach to take. But really deferring your student loans helps to balloon your overall debt repayment on those loans. So, if you start off and you have, let's say, $75,000, $80,000 in student loans and you defer them for a year, 2 year, 3 year, by the time you start paying back on those loans, the interest has increased tremendously. And now that $75,000, $80,000 student loan could be well over $100,000 because you decided to defer making payments. So really, I tell my clients that if you have a lot of student loans, there's an approach that I will recommend for my clients that will keep more money in their pockets, but it will also help to keep the interest down so that they're not paying a significant amount over the amount of the original loan.
All right, because those student loans, they stay with you through anything. Is that correct?
Through anything. Student loans are the only one debt that if you are having financial difficulties and let's say the only way for you to get ahead and a fresh start is you need to file for bankruptcy, which I really don't recommend, but sometimes people just need to take that route to give them peace of mind. Your student loans cannot be consolidated as part of your bankruptcy. So student loan is the one debt that will always hang over your head. And a lot of people don't realize that if you default on your student loans, you can lose your driver's license. If you have a professional license, let's say you're a nurse or you're a financial analyst, a financial analysis, a financial planner, and you have a Series 7's license and you default on your student loans, you will not get those licenses renewed.
Wow. So student loans are a big headache. A lot of us have gone through them, but the thing is, you need to pay them off to get your life moving in the direction you want to move in. So what's the other thing? Collections? You say people don't know about collections, that they really think they know.
Yeah, collections trip up a lot of people. I have a Facebook group called the Good Credit Movement. So in that group, I talk about all things related to credit. I do Facebook Lives. Every week I post credit tips. So you might want to join my Facebook group, the Good Credit Movement, where you'll find a lot of valuable information on all things credit. But as it relates to collection accounts and charge-off accounts, the one thing I tell individuals is a collection account is a collection account. So once it goes to collection or once it's charged off, I don't recommend that you pay it, because the only thing you'll do is it goes from a non-paid collection account to a paid collection account. But it's still a collection account. It's still on your credit report. It will not increase your credit score. It is like throwing money in a black hole.
Then what do?
You hire a credit specialist like me, who can challenge those collection and charge-off accounts on your behalf and get them removed. Because if you just pay a collection account, the only status that changes, it goes from an unpaid collection account or an unpaid charge-off to a paid collection or collection account or charge-off. But it's still a derogatory account, and a derogatory account is a derogatory account. So it is still negatively impacting your credit profile.
So if somebody's going to hire someone like you, what do they look for when they're hiring a credit agent?
So when you're looking to hire a credit specialist, first of all, you want to make sure that they know the credit laws. There are a lot of different credit repair companies out here, and unfortunately, it's a field where you have people that don't necessarily know the laws. They don't necessarily know the regulations. They don't necessarily challenge and do administrative disputes using the law. They'll use generic letters that we refer to in the industry as 609 letters. And truthfully, you can go online and Google 609 letters and send them on your own behalf. So I would never recommend hiring a credit specialist or a credit repair or credit restoration company that uses template letters to try to clean up and improve your credit.
So
it's not effective.
Is there accreditation or something that you can look for?
There is accreditations that you can look for. NASCA is the accreditation regulatory company in the credit repair field. So that's something that you can definitely look for. And really and truly, you want to interview them. You want to ask them questions. You want to do your own query of how are they going to act on your behalf to remove the derogatories and educate you. If they say that they're going to do a clean sweep, stay away from them. Clean sweeps are fraudulent. A clean sweep is where they wipe everything off of your credit report, primarily by saying that it doesn't belong to you. And so that's something that, you don't want to have done, because the other part of a clean sweep is that they'll try to sell you a CPN number, which is illegal, and they'll also attempt to have you buy trade lines, which is also illegal. So you just want to make sure that when you're looking to hire a credit specialist, that they actually know the law, they can use the law to advocate on your behalf, that during the credit repair process, they are educating you, that they have credit products that they can recommend for you to help build your credit while they're doing the administrative challenges. Because the other thing you want to be mindful of is if they remove everything derogatory on your credit profile, your score will go down. It won't go up, because now they've gotten rid of everything and you have nothing positively reporting on your credit report on a month-to-month basis. So you just want to make sure that the individual that you select actually knows what they're doing. They know the laws, they know the statutes, and that they're following the proper process as they are doing the administrative challenges on your behalf.
Wow, that sounds like it's kind of tough to monitor. How could you do that? I mean, when you find someone?
Well, it's the old saying, it's hard to know what you don't know. But luckily for you, you know Carolyn, and Carolyn is doing this live on her page with a reputable credit repair specialist that can tell you what you should look out for. So the other thing when you look at a credit repair specialist is anyone who wants to take money from you up front without actually doing any work. That's illegal. It's against the law. They cannot charge you in advance of doing any services. So there are some companies out here that says, we want you to put $400 down and then $400 in 3 months. That's illegal. You tell them no. They cannot collect money from you before doing any work. Where do they do that at? Nowhere. So don't allow anyone to do that to you.
That's key. That really does make sense. And I've seen that a lot of times, and people just go through it because that's what they know, and that's what nobody's ever told them anything different.
Right.
So I'm glad you really brought that up.
Yeah. You just want to make sure that you do your homework. Make sure that they have a website. Everybody is pretty much on social media these days, so any reputable company should be on social media, Facebook, Instagram. On Facebook, they will actually verify if you are a, what's the word I want to use?
Legitimate business?
A legitimate business. So your Facebook page will be verified by Facebook. If it's not, you may not want to use them. And if it's a company that's reputable, that has done good works, they're going to have reviews on their page. If you go to Credit Uptick on Facebook, you'll see that there are many reviews from satisfied clients that we've been able to successfully help them increase their credit score and improve their credit. So you just want to ask the right questions. You want to ask them, how are you going to challenge and advocate on my behalf with the creditors and the credit bureaus? If they tell you that they use 609 letters, run. You can use a 609 letter yourself. You can Google 609 letters and send that out yourself. Doesn't take any type of knowledge or skill set to do so. You want to hire a credit repair company that knows the law, that knows the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that knows the Federal Trade Regulation, that knows the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, that knows the e-Oscar validation, that knows Metro 2 compliance. That's how you know if they are knowledgeable in the credit repair industry.
Excellent. That is perfect. Because the only thing that I could remember is that they should know the law, but now she's even telling you what parts of the law you should know, and that is awesome.